The Peloponnesian sun beat down, glinting off the polished bronze of an approaching phalanx. From the opposing line, a volley of javelins launched, whistling through the air. Each projectile represented a lethal kinetic energy, an impossible problem for a single man to withstand. How did a Spartan warrior standing resolute intercept this incoming threat without succumbing? The primary mechanism for spear interception was the Aspis, or Hoplite, shield. This formidable defensive instrument measured approximately 90 centimeters in diameter and weighed between 6 to 8 kilograms. It was not merely a barrier, but an integral component of a complex kinetic system designed to dissipate force. The Aspis's construction was key to its efficacy. Crafted from a wooden core, often fig or poplar, it was faced with a thin sheet of bronze on its exterior and sometimes leather on the interior. The shield's convex shape was not incidental. It presented a curved surface that could deflect glancing blows more effectively than a flat plane, distributing impact stress across a wider area. Crucially, the shield featured a unique double-grip system. The porpax, a rigid bronze forearm band, secured the shield tightly to the left arm. The antilabe, a simple leather hand grip near the rim, allowed the warrior to control the shield's angle and rotation. This design prevented the shield from being easily knocked away upon impact. When facing an incoming spear, the Spartan warrior did not simply catch it. Instead, the Aspis was presented at a slight angle, utilizing its convex curvature. This deliberate angling was intended to absorb the direct force and then redirect a portion of the spear's kinetic energy, causing it to glance off rather than penetrate. Within the phalanx formation, the individual shield's effectiveness was magnified. Each Spartan warrior positioned his Aspis to protect not only himself, but also the right side of the man to his immediate left. This created an overlapping wall of bronze, presenting a formidable, continuous barrier. The impact of a spear was not entirely negated by the shield alone. The warrior's entire body acted as a shock absorber. Legs were braced, and the shoulders and core muscles tensed. This distribution of force through the body prevented the shield from simply being driven back into the warrior with full, undiminished power. The rigorous Agoge, the Spartan training system, commenced early in a boy's life, instilling the physical conditioning necessary to wield the Aspis effectively. Constant physical exertion built the muscular endurance required to hold the heavy shield steady for extended periods, a crucial factor in maintaining the phalanx's integrity under barrages of projectiles. Beyond raw strength, the Agoge also honed coordination and reaction time. Drills focused on swift shield movements, simulating the precise angles and shifts required to deflect a spear's point. This was not merely about brute force, it was about the learned mechanics of energy transfer and deflection, a kinetic dance rehearsed thousands of times. The psychological conditioning of the Agoge was equally vital. Fear, if unchecked, could lead to a warrior dropping his shield or breaking formation. The Spartans were trained to suppress this instinct, understanding that individual fear jeopardized the entire collective. Their famed discipline was a mechanical output of this rigorous psychological system. Cohesion within the phalanx was not just a tactic, it was a social contract enforced by the syssitia, the communal dining groups. Living, training, and eating together fostered an unbreakable bond. This social infrastructure directly translated into battlefield effectiveness, as each warrior trusted his neighbor to hold his ground, ensuring the continuous shield wall. Contrast this with the individualistic fighting styles prevalent in many other Greek city-states. Athenian hoplites, while well-armed, often prioritized personal glory, which could lead to gaps in the line during chaotic engagements. The Spartan system, by contrast, mechanically prioritized the collective survival over any individual's prowess. Persian infantry, frequently lighter armed and armored, presented a stark contrast. Their shields were often smaller, made of wicker or leather, offering less comprehensive protection against heavier Greek spears. Their formations, while numerous, lacked the interlocking defensive and offensive capabilities inherent in the Spartan phalanx's bronze wall. This Spartan's ability to even the might of the Macedonian sarissa, a formidable 6-meter spear, later posed a different challenge. While capable of penetrating many defenses, the Spartan phalanx's dense formation and heavy Aspis still presented a significant kinetic resistance. The very depth of the Spartan line meant spears often struck layers of bronze and wood before reaching flesh. Comparatively, Roman legionaries known for their discipline employed individual scuda shields which offered excellent personal protection. However, their primary defense against projectiles was often the testudo formation, a specialized maneuver. The Spartan system, by contrast, integrated its projectile defense directly into its standard battle formation. Despite this mechanical perfection, the Spartan system of stopping not just spears but entire armies was not eternal. Its rigid infrastructure, while its greatest strength, eventually became its most profound vulnerability. The very mechanisms that ensured its success also contained the seeds of its eventual decline. A critical flaw lay in its demographic structure. The Spartan citizenry, the homoioi who formed the core of this military machine, began to dwindle. The Agoge's intensity, strict land inheritance laws, and constant warfare led to a decreasing pool of eligible warriors, creating gaps in the bronze wall that were increasingly difficult to fill. The relentless focus on military training left little room for economic or social adaptation. Innovation in other areas was stifled, and the Spartan state became overly reliant on its unchanging military model. As the world around it evolved, Sparta's mechanical adherence to tradition made it increasingly inflexible. The system's rigidity meant it struggled to incorporate new tactical approaches or absorb external shocks. The loss of a battle or a significant portion of its few, highly trained citizens represented an existential threat that could not be easily compensated for. The perfect machine lacked redundancy. Furthermore, the Spartan economic system, disdaining trade and personal wealth accumulation, created significant vulnerabilities. While effective for military discipline, it hampered resource generation and adaptation to evolving warfare, which increasingly demanded complex supply chains and advanced engineering beyond simple iron currency. The constant threat of Helot revolt also represented a critical drain on Spartan resources and manpower. A substantial portion of the homoioi were perpetually dedicated to internal security, a defensive posture that limited offensive capabilities and stressed the already dwindling citizen ranks, weakening the phalanx from within. As other Greek states developed more flexible military tactics, such as the Theban oblique order pioneered by Epaminondas, the Spartan phalanx's relative inflexibility became apparent. Its robust defensive core struggled against innovations designed to exploit its predictable frontal assault. The Battle of Leuctra in 3071 BCE served as a stark demonstration of this systemic vulnerability. The defeat was not merely a tactical loss, but a critical blow that exposed the numerical and structural limitations of the Spartan military machine. The elite Hippodrome Corps, representing a significant portion of remaining homoioi, was decimated. The subsequent loss of Messenia, historically Sparta's breadbasket, delivered a profound economic shock. The Helot labor system, foundational to the Spartan warrior economy, was severed. This economic collapse directly undermined the financial infrastructure that supported the Agoge and the Syssitia, the very pillars of Spartan military might. In the face of these internal and external pressures, the once unyielding Spartan system proved incapable of adequate structural evolution. Its mechanisms for stopping external threats were perfectly honed for a specific era of warfare, but they lacked the adaptive algorithms necessary for long-term survival in a changing geopolitical landscape. The final stage of this decline saw Sparta reduced to a shadow of its former self. The bronze wall, once impenetrable, began to crumble, not from a single devastating spear, but from the cumulative effect of demographic decay, economic stagnation, and an unwavering commitment to an outdated, albeit once brilliant military paradigm. The very essence of the Spartan warrior system, honed to perfection in an age of close-quarters combat, struggled to adapt to the advent of more sophisticated siege warfare and projectile weapons developed by later empires. Their focus remained on the phalanx's kinetic resistance, not on counter-innovation. The isolationist policies, while maintaining their unique martial culture, also prevented the influx of new ideas and technologies. Other states learned from each other, borrowing and refining, while Sparta remained largely insular, mechanically repeating its established, albeit initially superior methods. The reliance on external populations for labor meant the Spartan state was always vulnerable to internal uprising if its military control faltered. The Helots, perpetually subjugated, represented an unstable foundation for a society so heavily invested in maintaining a warrior elite, diverting critical resources. Ultimately, the decline of Sparta was a testament to the limitations of even the most perfectly engineered social and military machine. While it excelled at stopping spears and armies, it failed to stop the relentless march of time and the imperative for adaptive change. The Spartan system, designed for an unchanging world, could not accommodate the variables of human ambition, demographic shifts, or evolving military science. Its very strength, its uncompromising rigidity, became its ultimate undoing, proving that efficiency without adaptability is a finite asset. The sound of the Eurotas River continues its flow, as it did when the first recruits entered the Agoge, but the echoes of the bronze shield wall, once an impenetrable barrier against all threats, have faded, replaced by the quiet hum of history's inexorable progress. The Spartan warrior's ability to stop an incoming spear was a feat of human engineering, discipline, and communal trust. Yet the story of Sparta begs the question: what is the true cost of building such a perfectly optimized, yet ultimately unyielding, system in a world that never stops changing?